Hey everybody. So I'm going to tell you right now that I am becoming a serious believer in the Buffalo Sabres. And I really think this team is legit and a very good hockey team. Um, Before we get into the video, I just want to quickly say, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I do videos on topics from across the NHL very regularly, so as long as you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, there are videos here for you. So please hit that subscribe button and follow along. Now, Buffalo, they are on an absolute tear right now, and we're past Thanksgiving. This is not just a hot start anymore. We are a quarter of the way through the season, a little more, as far as games played goes. This team is legit. That they can score goals. They have a real goaltender finally in Carter Hutton. They're playing better defensively. They're giving up less than 3 goals per game. There's nothing really not to like about this team other than maybe how young they are, but they're just performing at such an elite level right now. It won't matter if they have a rough patch in January or February, because they'll have such a big enough lead on a playoff spot that if they have a bad couple weeks where maybe they only go like 1-5 or something, they'll be okay. Right now, they currently are 15-6-2 with 32 points in their 9-1-0 in their last 10 games on an 8-game win streak, 8 in a row for the Buffalo Sabres. And on top of that, they are the comeback kings. They continually come back, come from behind in second and third periods to win games that they have no business winning. And that is the number one thing that makes me believe in this team, is they are not a team that you get a lead on and the game's over. They're a team that is winning games that they should not be winning. And that is the mark of a great team. Teams that can do that win a lot of games. And that's why I expect it to continue for the Sabres, because they have that ability. I watched them play the Pittsburgh Penguins I guess it was early this week, maybe last week, I forget. But I watched their game against Pittsburgh, and they were down 4-1. They were down 4-1 in that game. And then they scored, made it 4-2. Then they scored again, made it 4-3. And then they scored again, tied it up, and ended up winning 5-4 in overtime as Pittsburgh collapsed all over themselves. And Buffalo scored another come-from-behind win. And they've done that multiple times this season, where they've been down early in games, and in the second and many times in the third period, they have come all the way back from 2 or 3 goal deficits and have ended up winning the game. And that is why they have 15 wins already, because they can come from behind. They're 32 points, second in the NHL. The only teams with more points, Nashville and Tampa Bay, who many believe are the 2 best teams in the league. Nashville and Tampa Bay are the only teams with more points than the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo is in second place in the Atlantic Division right now, 1 point behind division-leading Tampa Bay, and 2 points ahead of Toronto. Wasn't Toronto supposed to be the much-improved team this year? The team that was going to take the league by storm and blow through everybody with their incredible goal scoring and offense? Now, sure, Austin Matthews has missed a good portion of this season to this point with injury, but the Buffalo Sabres are ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the standings. And we're not talking about a week into the season or even Halloween. We're past American Thanksgiving, and Buffalo is ahead of Toronto in the standings. This team is legit. This team is for real. They can score goals. They play better defense than they have in the past number of years. And I think the biggest difference overall with this team, the absolute game-changing thing, Carter Hutton in goal. They haven't had a real goaltender who can win on a nightly basis since Ryan Miller, really. Since Ryan Miller left, they have not had a goaltender, a consistent starting goaltender who gives you a chance to win night in and night out. And they finally have it with Carter Hutton. Add their much better increased goal scoring on top of that. Not only do they keep the puck out of their own net better with a very, very good goaltender in Carter Hutton now, they're also scoring more goals. Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Jason Pominville, Jeff Skinner near the top of the league in goal scoring. This team has legitimate weapons up front for the first time in a while. Before, they were Buffalo for the last 5 years. You look at them and you go, wow, they are a one-line team. They have one line that can score, and that is it. And then their defense wasn't very good, and they had lousy goaltending. That's why Buffalo was a bottom feeder for as long as they were. Not anymore. They have 3 lines that can score, 2 very good scoring lines. They have a legitimate goaltender. They have young defensemen who are really developing. Guys like Jake McCabe and Rasmus Ristolainen are starting to really play a lot better and come into their own. They have veteran guys like Zach Bogosian, who's been around for the league for a while now. Marco Scandella, who unfortunately has had an injury this year, but when he's in, he's a veteran stabilizing force back there. Rasmus Dahlin, I haven't even talked about Rasmus Dahlin because he doesn't have to play a massive role on this team. He doesn't have to be a hero. He's only 18 years old. He's an 18-year-old defenseman in the NHL in his rookie season. He's not going to be a hero. He doesn't have to be a hero on this team. All he has to do is play smart hockey. Contribute a little bit offensively and don't make any egregious mistakes. And that's exactly what he's doing. And they're much more solid defensively than they have been in past years. They're better at every single position. They're better up front. They're better on the back end. And they are significantly better in goal. They've improved everywhere, and that is why they only have 6 regulation losses all season long so far. 15-6-2. If you told me, guess a team who on November 24th would be 15-6-2, I'd guess Tampa Bay, I'd guess Nashville, I'd guess Winnipeg, I'd guess Toronto. I'd guess your top teams in the league. I would not have guessed the Buffalo Sabres before this year. But you know what? I am now firmly a believer in this Buffalo Sabres team. They are legit. They can win games. They're a strong group. They've got plenty of talent throughout the lineup. They've got good workers throughout the lineup as well. That's a big, big thing for them. They have the talent. They also have the grinders. They have the hard workers. They have the guys who are going to put in the effort. They have the young players, and they have the veteran leadership. Buffalo is for real. And you know what? With Florida struggling the way that they have, Buffalo's probably going to make the playoffs. If they continue to play at a decently high level, they will be a playoff team. Because you're going to get at least 4 teams from the Atlantic Division in the playoffs, if not 5. Toronto's going to the playoffs. Tampa Bay's going to the playoffs. Boston's going to the playoffs. They're going to... Listen, Boston is surviving well even while they have major players out injured. When those players come back, Boston's going to be even better. They're going to the playoffs. There's 3 teams from the Atlantic going to the playoffs. Buffalo is going to the playoffs. I will call that right now. If the Buffalo does not make the playoffs this year, you can comment on this video at the end of the year and just laugh at me if you want. But I'm telling you right now, Buffalo's going to the playoffs this year. That they haven't made it since 2010. This is going to be the year that breaks it. And every year we get at least 1 or 2, if not more, big surprise teams in the NHL. This year, Buffalo is going to be one of those huge surprise teams. They're going to be a playoff team. I believe in that team. I believe in what they're doing. I think they have a very solid lineup, and they have good goaltending, and that is key. I'm a firm believer in this Buffalo Sabres team. So with that, Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the link to our Patreon page as well as the merch store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.